Hello, and welcome to the Ask Ardyce podcast, the podcast where we ask my grandma questions about life, the universe, and everything, and she gives us her honest answers. Joining us here today is the woman herself, Ardyce Krogstad. Would you like to say hello to everyone, Grandma?
Hi, everybody. I'm looking out of my window at a nice blue sky and nice white fluffy clouds. I hope everybody's seeing the same.
It's shaping up to be a really beautiful afternoon/evening, isn't it, Grandma?
Yes, it is.
So, today we have 3 different callers, all from our family. So we're calling this the Hook Family episode. So I want to start with a question from Tammy. She asks, with all that's going on in the world, how important is it to talk to each other directly via phone rather than through this Twitter hash things? What are the advantages? What are the advantages to social media and what are the advantages of a phone call?
Tammy, you know what? Phone calls are wonderful, but I have sure learned being isolated to one room for many weeks, actually months.
Yeah.
And to be able to go on social media, go on WhatsApp, go on Duo, go on Zoom, whatever it happens to be, Marco Polo, and see people's faces. That's been a big deal for me.
Oh, so the video calling is something that you're really appreciating, hey, Grandma?
Yeah, I sure am, yeah.
Wonderful, yeah. And
I just know why I giggled a little bit. I could tell by part of Tammy's question there that she really wasn't up on all of this.
Yeah, exactly. And I know what she's talking about. Like, some people only look at Facebook and Instagram and kind of scroll through and write things. So I think she was more talking about like the impersonal writing part of it. But I think you make a good point that the video aspect of so many of these social media platforms gives us the ability to see each other, which is really great and something that not everyone considers. So I think that was a great answer. Yeah, you could tell from the Twitter hash things that she wasn't too happy about that. So another more serious question from her. So we talked a little bit about kind of the loss in her life, and I know our family's had quite a bit of that over the last couple of years. And so she asked, what do us who are left behind do after those who pass are gone? What do you have left? What do you focus on? Where do we go from here? How do we make connections beyond our family?
I really believe the very first thing we have to do is figure out who we are. Be really comfortable inside of ourselves.
Right.
And then if we can do that, then we can reach out to our family, to our friends, to all different kinds of ways of growing and just being. Yeah, if we can just get to that point, and It's not easy, it's not always easy, and it doesn't come overnight.
Yeah, I think you're on a great train of thought there, Grandma, that when we're comfortable being ourselves, then anyone who's added to it is just a bonus, right? It's not that we need to have those people around. We figure out who we are first.
That's right.
And I also remember from the episode where my roommate Justin asked about moving to a new place, you talked about how, churches and volunteer organizations, like there's so many different ways to get involved in the community outside of your family if you're looking for that too.
Yes, and I mean, if you like pets, then go and volunteer at the shelters for animals and that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot we can do out there. There really is.
That's not a bad idea, especially since I know she has a lovely cat. So that might be a good one for her.
She's an animal lover, yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
she's great with animals, for sure. Good answer, Grandma. Thanks for that. And the final question from her is, how do you feel about pet restrictions in senior homes? How would their lives be different if they were allowed to have pets?
Boy, Tammy, I know they just say that an animal is just so important in a senior's life.
Yeah.
But I'm a senior that wouldn't want the responsibility of an animal. So there's a two-sided sword. You get all the pleasures from it. Now, when we have pets come in and visit, that's lovely. Any of us that want to can go down and pet those dogs and cats or whatever they happen to bring in that time. And it's a wonderful way for us to be able to mix with animals. It really is.
That's a great solution. Yeah. So maybe for those homes where they're not allowed to have pets, to arrange more frequent pet visitations. That's a great solution, Grandma.
And I want to say what happens is the seniors get too elderly. And then the pets aren't properly looked after. And that is why it becomes an issue that they just can't have them in the homes.
Right.
You know, the law just it doesn't work. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so having those visitations allows them the joy of having a pet without so much of the responsibility.
That's right, yes.
Okay, yeah, great point, Grandma. The next question is from Uncle Harley. And he asks, how is your sex life? So,
and we'll just say non-existent. And that's all there is to it. He's such a brat.
He's such a brat. You know, though, it's funny because you're one of the most open and comfortable people to talk to about absolutely anything. So I think that if there was someone romantic in your life, you'd be so open about talking about that. And I remember, you know...
I'd gladly tell you about it.
Right. And you know what? I actually remember when, you know, my sisters and I were, you know, getting to our late teens, early 20s sort of thing. I remember us coming to you with questions and conversations about that kind of stuff because, you know, our grandma was so open and comfortable to talk about. I don't think everyone has that. So I know Uncle Harley was just trying to throw a jab at you, but I think, you know, it gave me an opportunity to thank you for being an open and, you know, easy to talk to person. So there you go.
There you go.
So Ginny had a question for you, and this is a more straightforward one, but when will you be in Kamloops next? She's moving back to the country and wants to know when you're going to be here.
I know, Ginny, and I believe today is the day you arrived back in Canada.
I think so,
yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah. And I just happened to talk to Darla today. So, but Ginny, I don't know. You know, once all of this COVID stuff is over, I will certainly consider it then. But certainly it's going to be a long time. I feel bad about Steph's wedding, but I just had to decline.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for sure. And you know what, Ginny? We'll be excited to see you whenever that time comes. We'll wait for this kind of COVID wave to finish whatever it's doing, and then you betcha we'll be in Kamloops before you know it, I'm sure.
And you and Darla get on social media, on WhatsApp or whatever, and you just get so I can see your faces.
There you go. See Grandma's face in another way there, Ginny. She'll say hello to you. Okay, so that is, I think, where we're going to end it for this episode. We have a few more questions this week, but we'll split that into the next episode. So is there anything you would like to say to wrap up the Hook family episode, Grandma?
Thank you, family, for sending in the questions. I really do appreciate it. And they were all great and sassy and to be expected. So thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely.
And I love you all.
Absolutely. I think if it makes Grandma giggle or if it makes her say words of wisdom, both are equally valuable things. So thank you guys for those questions. So that was Ask Ardyce. I hope you got as much out of that as I always do. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them on Facebook, and I'll nag Grandma with some more questions soon.